Yo, Wagwan, it's that guy. Knotlocks, not nation. Yo, Jah Sun, reggae artist of the Caucasian kind, had some pretty cool dreadlocks. And I say had because it feels like they've been cut off within the past couple of years. But today we are tributing his locks of the past. So make sure you stay tuned, stay subscribed. This is Not Nation.
The nation.
Looking at Jah Sun's dreads, definitely know they were free forms. This length that he was rocking is like that of 15 years or more of hair growth, and it just shows like the dedication and the dedication that it took to get to this length. Now, one thing you might be asking is like, what type of dreads are these? Clearly, these have been free-formed for many years, and I love that Jah Sun had embraced this lifestyle because it shows that, you know, white people can free-form their hair just as well as anybody else, with the commitment and the length that can come into play. Jah Sun's dreads were looking pretty unique actually, and you can see all the frizzy hair that was encompassed within the locks and around the locks. A lot of his tips are very wispy. There's no bluntage happening, no crochet hook. The man definitely just left his hair to grow and do whatever. And even though he's got mad length, you can see that he still rocked the baseball caps. In all walks of life, he's still rocking those baseball caps. You can see the dreads at the back of his head started to Congo up into bigger, thicker dreads. It's kind of got some finger locks down here at the bottom. But this length, this is like Damian Marley length. And honestly, this must have been like close to 20 years of hair growth that he was messing with here. This photo here in California, pretty cool to see. For one, the hat that he's got on. Another interesting thing about this photo is that his dreads are so long they're touching the floor, picking up some dirt and debris from down on Mother Earth. You know, pictures like this really showing the hat situation once again. Seems like he's even wearing a headband underneath the hat. Locks looking mighty long here. Here's a shot of him in the younger years when his dreads were like half the length of what these ones I'm showing you now. And this time his hair seems pretty thick at the top where he couldn't have worn a hat, so maybe his hair was thinning towards the end, hence why he was wearing the hats. This shot here looks pretty cool. Another type of hat that he was rocking. So we see that he's been fitting on a lot of different styles of hats, especially here as well. He's got a tam on, stuffed with dreads all the way to the top. That looks really tough. Lee Perry rocking the seaweed dreads. This is like a story of its own right here. This guy was a producer for Bob Marley. Right, so moving on here to Jah Sun Instagram page. Now, starting at the bottom of his page here, 2013, 6 years ago, you can see how long his locks were. Hat still on, so they were kind of thinner at this point on his crown, but still super thick around the nape, around his neck, almost long enough like he's wearing a scarf. 24 shot with the baseball cap on here once again. I have a feeling like once it gets to this point where your dreads are so long and so thinned out that you wear baseball caps every day, it's kind of a warning sign. People get stuck in that transition too of just having to wear a hat every day as their look. So you can see again he's wearing like a headband underneath the hat. Another hat here once again, long locks coming down the sides, and there's no scarring on these locks either. They're all pretty much flat and matted and smooth almost. I like this shot with the beanie, the tam going on. Super long dreads that we're seeing here, just from 4 years ago. And you can see the color change in his locks as well, how it changes from a lighter brown to a darker brown towards the roots. Here again in another hat, long ass dreads down to the floor. They must have just gotten too long. Once you grow your hair down to the floor, I think it's actually time to consider chopping them off. I wonder what he has done with his locks. I don't think he would have thrown them out. And then this is a photo here of his dreads being chopped as of just 2 years ago. Just 2 years ago. And you can see how thick his dreads actually were. And honestly, it looks like these were just the dreads on the back of his head. So it's like the dreads on the top of his head were probably fallen out or thinned out already. And this is crazy how long, like, they're honestly as long as him. And it's crazy because that was probably his identity as a reggae artist. And now it would be weird to see him perform reggae without the dreads. It's a white man with an accent. But I mean, he's probably still very talented, so it wouldn't make a difference. And he says a year later, or 6 months after cutting them, he's like, sometimes I miss my dreads. And this is him dangling close to the floor once again. But he doesn't show many pictures of him without a hat on still. I'm interested to see what his hairline is like underneath that hat. After having dreads for so many years, especially under the hats. And I still think these Tams fit him very well with the dreads stuffed in there. So I'm just going to type in here Jah Sun real quick. Maybe there's like a hashtag. Doesn't seem to want to show any pictures of him without his hat on. But his style definitely does remind me of Damian Marley. How he always rocks hats and his dreads tied back, long length at the back as well. But that is essentially Jah Sun and his hair now currently. So hopefully you guys enjoyed, and definitely smash that like button down below. It always helps out in supporting the Knot Nation community to grow. And if you're new here, just hit that subscribe button. This is Knotlocks. I do dreadlock related content here on the channel. But until next time, I wish you guys to be happy and nappy. Stay locked, stay tuned and subscribed, and I'll see you in the next dreadlock update. Adios.
That's the singular, evolves from seed to star. Journey from the infinite near unto the infinite far.